going in, I ain't running. I'ma come and tell you anyone can get to talk about it cause I really live it. All the nights on the mission, no fear, no hope in my vision. Don't need no intervention, you ain't down the ride, there ain't even no ones to come out, point them out and they all gonna be missing. Wonder why I'm still here, cause I'm doing on the daily. Act a fool if you met me, you try to be brave and step up, but your crew is too scary. Plus I'm too legendary, it's what we go hard for. I'm rocking your block, you until you get knocked off. I'm taking your place, yeah, I'm making my property. Maybe a game that you probably did so with your life for me. So it's only right for me. Annihilate them if they get my way of sight. And keep them up off of me. A weakness in you only make an appetite. Anytime I get into it, I be looking at them, looking pitiful in the condition that be critical. Nothing less than original. Plus once that's the end of you. Who's next?
Finish him! Get over here!
All right, welcome back, everybody, to episode 41. Still looking at 2015. Now it's our top 5, so I started it off right away. I had an honorable mention. It was Mortal Kombat X. Loved the game so much, but at the same time, the thing I did not enjoy about it was playing it online because everybody played Sub-Zero. But that was about it.
Yeah.
But,
we had a lot of fun playing this game.
Oh
together.
yeah. It was a total blast playing together. I love the game. It was great. I give it all the kudos in the world. It was really fun, but I think Mortal Kombat 9 was better. But it was nice to see it come to the next gen. I'm waiting on Injustice 2. I think that'll be fantastic.
No one likes DC.
I don't care. I do.
Except for Batman.
Anyways, how was your week, Tom?
It was good. It was kind of weird. Like, ever since I started this new job, I worked like one full week where it's been like 5 days, and every other week has been a holiday. So this is the start of like full real work weeks. So it was good. I have a bit of a throat soreness, which sucks.
Yeah,
but,
so
otherwise it was good.
Coming off
I'm drinking tea
out of your Kevin Owens cup. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so coming off a peak for me, working like 5 days a week, sometimes like not 6 days, but the hours you're putting in, it feels like it's 6 or 7 days a week. This week, like, I got to Friday. It was kind of cool, actually. I got to Friday, and I was like, it's Friday. Like, it's Friday. Feels like Wednesday.
What is this?
It feels like Wednesday right now, and, like, I had a miserable week at work. So I was on vacation the week before, and it's just been a long week. It wasn't anything, well, it's work-related, obviously, but yeah, it was just to me, it was a miserable week. But
well, that sucks.
But I'm glad it's over. Now I get to sit back and talk about video games. So
and we got NXT tickets.
Yes, we got
NXT is coming to Indianapolis.
February 6th.
Real quick wrestling. February 6th. Yeah.
Yeah.
In like 1 week, they announced it and announced tickets going on sale.
Yeah,
and I was able to snag us some.
Fortunate enough to get some. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's gonna be.
We're going to see NXT.
Finn Balor.
I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind, especially if the Balor Club happens.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would
be awesome. So cool.
All right.
But yeah. Enough wrestling.
Video games, Tom. Give me your honorable mention and
Yeah, so I have 2 honorable mentions. The first one is the follow-up DLC to my Game of the Year last year. Yep. It's one of my top probably 5 games ever now.
Binding
of Isaac Afterbirth. Yep. Last year my top game was The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which was like a 16-bit styled remake / update to The Binding of Isaac that added more items, and then this one added even more items and different curses and stuff on the rooms, different floor layouts, and different room types. So it was actually kind of a huge update, but I didn't really want to do it 2 years in a row. Best game of the year. So just want to shout it out here. It's incredible. There's going to be more. There's going to be more DLC coming out, which I'm so excited.
But these games aren't even expensive either. They're like what, $10 or $15? So
yeah. So like,
it's not like they're releasing a AAA $60 game every year like other companies do.
Right.
So.
But I've also played these games for like
hundreds of
1,000 hours. So I love these games so much. They're so good. It's definitely my time waster game.
Yeah.
If I have like an hour, I'm probably gonna play that.
What was what's your other one?
My real one is also a remake, but I didn't really want to, shout it out because it's a remake of a remake, and that is Resident Evil Remake HD,
Nice.
which came out like very early January. I almost forgot that it was this year, but you convinced me to play that game because you love it so much, and I loved it. I only played through it the one time, but I enjoyed it thoroughly, and yeah, that is a fantastic game.
So I chose not to put that on my list just because reasons.
Probably kind of the same as
Yeah, like I mean, I played it on the GameCube, and like the differences are.
and the PS1.
Yeah, the differences are so. So if it was like going from PS1 to GameCube, if it was like that big of a difference, that was a completely different game. This was literally just updated textures, and they changed a couple of small things, but it's nothing that you or I noticed. It's people like Carcinogen notice these changes because they're speedrunners. They're like,
right,
this is different. But
for me, it was an entirely new game. And,
so
it was awesome.
I
can't wait for Resident Evil 0.
Comes out next Tuesday, so like a week and a half away. The 19th, I think it is.
Wow.
Correct? Yes,
Holy
the
cow.
19th.
I'm ready.
I can't wait. I think you're gonna like it. I don't know if there is, but it'd be awesome if they had multiplayer co-op, but I don't think they will.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be kind of sick though.
So on to our top 5. Tom, you take the honors. You take the helm first. What was your number 5 game of 2015?
Number 5 is Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a game that I finished 10 hours ago. As I kind of talked about last week, I have a really weird sleep schedule with my new job, and I take lots of weird naps when I go home.
You
and
do.
It was
You're
like
hard
7
to
o'clock.
find.
I'm really hard to find. I'm sorry, I'm that person. But it was like 7 o'clock last night, and I was thinking to myself, I got to finish this game. And I had played it for about 3 hours the day earlier, and I played it from like 7 o'clock until 5 in the morning, pretty much straight, except for one part that really frustrated me, so I took like a 10-minute break. But yeah, it's a sequel to Tomb Raider from I think it was 2013.
Yes.
If I'm correct. I think it's a better game in every respect. It looks amazing. It's one of the best looking console games I've ever played. Up there with Battlefront. It's kind of nice that they didn't focus on making a 360 or a PS3 version this time. They just went straight current gen.
There's a 360 version.
Is there? I don't think it's real.
Never...
It's not real.
Let me see if I can find anything.
It's
quick.
not real. I don't believe it's real. Even if it is real, it's not real. But it looks incredible. It plays great.
Oh god, it looks so much worse.
I bet it looks terrible. It shouldn't even exist. Which I really wish that more games would do that. Kind of like Batman, how they just completely ignored 360 and PS3. That's what needs to happen.
I mean, like Call of Duty kind of did it, but it was multiplayer only on the 360 and the PS3.
Yeah, which I don't think anyone's playing the campaign of those on those systems anyway. So
no, they're probably not.
Yeah, but I thought the story was pretty good. I love the Uncharted games. I love the Indiana Jones movies. And this is like right in the same vein where let's go find this, this mythical thing. And just like those movies, I love that the mythical things always exist pretty much. Mm-hmm. In some capacity. It might not be exactly what you think, but it always starts to get fantastical in like those movies and games at the end, which I love. I thought the story was pretty good. Gameplay's fun. It's real brutal when you do some stealth kills and stuff, or like you accidentally kill Lara. It gets pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's not as nasty as the first game, which I thought kind of took it way too far.
Yeah.
With the whole like impaling her on her neck. Like when you're sliding down the room and stuff. That was really gross. I think they kind of tuned it down a bit, which was good. I loved everything about this game. There was one part that frustrated me because it required some more precise platforming than the game gives you. And I feel like sometimes like you get this grappling hook-ish thing, and
yes, that thing
you'd like jump and press X.
Yeah.
And like 3/4 of the time it would work, but then the other quarter of the time, it would just like not. You'd like throw it out, and it just wouldn't attach to the thing that it's supposed to attach to, and you just fall to your death. Like, luckily, the checkpoints are quick to load, and they're like
plentiful.
Extremely plentiful. Yeah,
very plentiful.
It was just like, ugh, why is this happening? And that kind of soured me for a little bit. But I really liked the ending to the game, I thought the story paid off really well, and I actually really liked the last like 2 areas that you were in. I thought they were great.
Awesome.
I know you played it
So,
this week too, pretty much.
I did.
Because I had played it like for 3 or 4 hours and put it down because it came out the same day as Fallout
Yeah.
and some other games.
So I did play it. I will talk
I don't-
about that
later.
possibly later. Yeah.
Oh shoot!
So hey, buddy. So
Oh yeah, that game is fantastic.
So is
Can't
this
wait
for me?
Is
Is this Mater? This is Mater.
Mater.
My
Like
son's-
Terminator, but without the tub.
Yes. So, my number 5. So I based my list strictly on how much I enjoyed the games and a little bit of how much time I put into them. So my number 5 is Batman Arkham Knight. This was
Yay!
so
Batman.
this could have. So a lot of these are, when I think about them, it's hard for me to make to chronologically put things in order, just because it's like, oh, I could have easily have put Mortal Kombat X here and Batman as an honorable mention, which actually that's how my list started until I started like reflecting back on how much I enjoyed Batman. So this pretty much everything that you did as Batman felt pretty fluid as it was in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. And then they added the Batmobile, which I thought it was kind of neat, but this game would have probably been a lot higher if there wasn't so much emphasis on the Batmobile, because the Batmobile was fun, but it was like, man, I got to upgrade, Batman himself. I got to upgrade the Batmobile. But it added like that new complexity layer to it, and it actually was fun occasionally to just hop in the Batmobile and just go destroy a bunch of tanks, because that was part of 100%ing the game like I did. I had to do a lot of stuff as Batman and do a lot of stuff in the Batmobile. The story was, I felt like it was predictable.
Yes.
To the extent of who the Arkham Knight was, but I did not see at all, because I do my best. Like, I'll watch the cinematic trailer, which was pretty much the From Father to Son trailer, which was fantastic. Showed like Two-Face, Penguin, Poison Ivy, and the Arkham Knight a little bit, but you didn't see anything about the Joker, which I thought that was great. And whenever the Joker came
What's
on
up?
screen,
It's me.
Yeah.
He's back.
whenever the Joker came on screen with his gun, I'm not gonna. It scared me. I was like, oh my god! Like, it startled me. Like, I was not expecting that. And then
And it happened like 10 times, and it got me like every single time.
yeah. And then I really liked whenever you were like walking into like the movie theater, up on the roof to like one of your hideouts, and he's just sitting there like on like a little like cardboard box, just talking as you walk by. Like, it was just so nonchalant. Like, hey, Brucey, this guy died because of you. It's all your fault. And it's like, yeah, okay. But the ending with the Scarecrow was really good. I like that last scene where you're walking as Batman and pretty much destroying the Joker once and for all from your brain and memory and stuff like that. The game to me was not worth 100%ing. After I 100%ed it, it didn't really pay off. But I will say that it is worth finishing off all the villains minus the Riddler. The last fight with the Riddler wasn't all that great.
Yeah, I did everything but all the Riddler stuff in that game.
Yeah,
just
which is-
because
I would
open world
suggest-
fatigue.
I would suggest
And
that.
yeah, and like I heard what happens. I watch it, this cinematic and stuff when you do get all that stuff done. And I love that stuff as a Batman fan, but I'm glad I didn't
Yeah.
subject myself to more of that.
It's really it's easier. It's pretty easy, I'll say, to get the Riddler trophies, because you can literally just, like I did, like the last, I think it was like 12 I had to get, because I think there was like 250 something.
Yeah, there's like 250.
Yeah, so I just
There's
drove,
a lot.
I just drove around the town until like somebody would glow green, and then I would attack them and interrogate them and find out where Riddler trophies were.
Yeah, I did that in Arkham City. I got all the stuff, and in that game, literally nothing happens when you get it. So that kind of soured me on undoing all of that stuff.
Yeah, like this one,
So-
you got like an extra like 45-second cutscene.
Yep, and it's
Okay.
sick if you're a Batman fan,
Yeah,
like I am.
Yeah, the
But-
cutscene's great, but it's like I just put in so many hours and I got this 45-second cutscene.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I really like that game a lot. It's not on my list.
Yeah,
but
since
I
it's
really
not on your
enjoyed
list, go ahead and chime in what you think.
Yeah, I thought it was great in terms of like wrapping up the
Trilogy.
Rocksteady Arkham trilogy. I think it was probably better than City was. I'm still partial to Asylum just because I think it's a little more focused, and I think that kind of plays more to that game's strength is being more focused instead of all the open world stuff. But I did really enjoy it. I thought the story, like you said, was predictable, but of course, it's always nice hearing Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy and all that. So that was always nice. Made me all warm and fuzzy inside.
I think
And obviously another amazing looking game, like absolutely
fantastic.
incredible. And the gameplay is always is great. The stealth is so much fun and knocking people out and all that. Yeah, it didn't quite stick with me as much as the other ones did, the other games on my list. But I thought this was a great game.
Yeah, so the one thing that kind of sucked is the highlight of the game is mostly the flashbacks. That was, for me at least, like whenever you're and there's you put yourself in that pod or whatever, and then you see like the Joker with Jason Todd, I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. And then the Killing Joke throwback where you drop down into the clock tower where Oracle's at, and then she's standing. You're like, what's she doing standing? And she opens the door, and then the Joker answers it. Is there?
She's not standing.
Well, I don't remember, but she walks over to the door and opens it, and he's like wearing like the Hawaiian shirt and like the hat and like the camera and everything like in the Killing Joke, which I was like, oh my god, they did the Killing Joke. That's awesome. It made me, I kind of fanboyed out for a second. But moving on, number 4, Tom, what do you got?
For me, number 4 is Splatoon.
Nice.
Yes, I love this game so much. A Nintendo shooter is my favorite shooter of the year. That is a very weird thing to say.
It's weird just
a
to say
Nintendo
Nintendo
online
shooter.
Yeah, a Nintendo online game works perfectly and has no issues. That is also weird to say. However, Splatoon is so awesome. It's such a breath of fresh air for just the shooter genre in general. I love the fact that all the games are 3 minutes long. You know, it makes it go by so quickly, and it lets you kind of do some rapid fire stuff and give you different experiences without having to, sink a bunch of time into it. I love the fact that the focus is not on killing. You can kill people, and it does help your team because obviously the less people on their side that are currently playing, the more that your team
better
can
odds
take
you have
of the map. But I've had plenty of games where my teammates, we all get killed. We're all going like 1-5, and we win the game because we're focusing on the objectives.
Yeah, so my extent with this game is like the 1 or 2 times I was at your house and I played it.
Yeah.
And it's a blast. It's easy to pick up. For me, I was like, hey, what are the controls? You're like, oh, ZR does this, ZL does this, R and L do this, and your control sticks. I'm like, okay. And he's like, just put paint on the map. And I was like, okay. And I played, I was like, wow, this is really fun. I like this.
It's so good. And it was kind of bare bones when it came out, but Nintendo acknowledged that and said, hey, we're not going to release any paid DLC. We're going to update it with new maps and out like armor, essentially like new outfits and stuff, new weapons, and new game types.
It's all been free
they've
DLC,
done all
right?
that. And it's all been free, and they've been supporting this game like crazy. And there's still a ton of people playing it, from what I can tell. And it's just such a fun world. Like, it has the best style of any game this year. The music is really bizarre at times. Like, it almost sounds like somebody was just like on GarageBand and just was like pressing a bunch of different stuff and was just like throwing sounds together. But it all fits really well. I love the aesthetic of it, where it's like, these high-rise buildings and stuff in the menus, and you're walking around and going into shops, these kind of like trendy looking shops, and buying your stuff. And then there's like a random weird creepy old guy in the corner who like sells you different gear and stuff. Like, it's just so strange. And I love it. I love strange games, as I've talked about a lot. The weirder, the better.
Yeah, my extent with
and the single player was actually pretty
deep.
good too. It was like only 3 hours, but it was level-based stuff, and it was really easy. But it was an enjoyable like 3 hours or so that I played of it. So this was easily like one of the biggest surprises of the year for me was how much
Yeah.
I loved this game and how well it worked. Like no connection issues or anything like that. And the support from Nintendo has been incredible and frankly kind of unexpected. So
Mind-blowing.
this is my number 4 game, and I want to play more, like right now.
Well, then maybe you can do that after the stream's over. Who knows?
I
can
do it.
So my number
not on.
4.
Tim, wait, I wasn't done.
Oh, you're not done. He's not done.
That was my number 4, Tim. What's your number 4?
Oh, my number 4. So my number 4, Quattro. I don't know how to say 4 in any other language. That's how narrow-minded
Cat.
I am.
Un, deux, trois, quatre. That's
Cot.
French.
So, Cot, for me, we dedicated an entire stream to this game, and it was a game I've been not looking forward to, but it was a PS4 exclusive, and I don't own a PS4. But it was a blast to sit and play. A lot of people in the stream talking, telling us what to do and what to expect and stuff. Not really spoiling it though, but it's Until Dawn.
Yes.
This was such an amazing game to sit and play together. It's like it was so every time I've watched, I did not watch anything about the game besides once again the trailer, and it was sucked because the game came out in August, and we didn't play it till the end of October, so it was. It came out August 25th, like the day whenever every game in the world came out at the late
Oh
summer.
my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I think it was like Madden, Gears of War.
The next
Until
week
Dawn.
was Metal Gear.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a crazy week.
It was crazy.
Yeah, so what I really like about this game was how it flowed and the story actually felt like an actual story. It didn't feel like it was forced on you. It had like that nice cheesy B horror in it, but there was also like the Wendigos. Those things were creepy as hell. And
they're pretty terrifying. They do some damage.
there was a point where I think you were playing as, I believe it was Mike, which Mike is pretty much like, I feel like he's like the main character of the game. Just
Yeah.
to say it, because he cannot die until the very end, along with one other person. But you were just like walking through this prison. It was towards the end of the game, and just Wendigos were coming at you left and right, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. It had a couple jump scares, but it didn't force the jump scares on you. And then the brother, I'm trying to remember his name now. His story as like a psychopath, Josh. Yeah, his story as a psychopath was great. It was like a story within the story, like one that was the planned one, whereas the Wendigo one was the non-planned one. I really liked that. How he was just messing with people, and the gruesome opening first, death. That's not really a death, but like the first death scene where he gets cut in half was like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, like, and obviously spoilers are gonna be abound for some of these games. Although my next few games really don't have spoilers, but yeah, that part I was gonna say that part is so crazy where it's just like, oh my god, he got
just
sawed in
everything
half,
just falling down.
Yeah, and you just see it all falling down, and then the reveal of it's Josh. It was like, I just saw that guy get sawed in half.
Yeah, but
like,
then it explains it.
Yeah, and they explain it, and it makes sense. But yeah, it was like, oh,
I think you were playing that part as I think his name was Chris.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said, save Josh, save Josh. You're like, I'm not saving Josh. I'm like, his family has lost his sisters. You got to save one kid. I think we saved the girl, but then I went back and later found
saved
out
Ashley.
No matter who you try and save,
yeah,
it still kills Josh.
Yeah, and I love that stuff about the game where it's like, you think that you're influencing the story in these ways, and like in that situation, like no matter what, Josh would have been the one that got killed. But in the moment, you totally think like, oh my god, like this is life or death and all that. And it makes the decisions really feel important, even if in the overall story they're not that important.
Yeah. And if you haven't, check out the Game Theorist show about Until Dawn, because he literally talks about how Josh is the biggest victim in this entire game. And I'm like, you're just like, no way. But then he explains it. You're like, okay, I agree. Josh was screwed over no matter what. But we played it, and I think like 3 people died or something like that. But
who killed?
Some So
Guess
some of
who was controlling when all those people died?
some of the decisions,
Wasn't me.
the thing that I like about it a lot is that the decisions don't necessarily, they're not always so like whenever Chris died, it was that him dying was on a decision that we made like what was it like 3 or 4 hours before that. It wasn't like that was a decision we made like right then. Like
I thought that was the one where you were like, should I open the door or let him stay outside?
No, that
And
was
you were like, we're gonna let him stay outside.
no, that was because whenever the saws are coming
Oh,
down,
that's right. With
the
gun.
saws are coming
Yeah.
down, then whenever he's running up to the door,
Oh
she
man.
chooses not to open it because of that one thing, and you're
Yeah.
like, you're thinking like that happened like 2 or 3 hours ago, and then what's his nuts? The guy we really wanted to save, what's his name? Matt, I think, the jock, like the guy that was dating
the
the
guy
bitch.
that we were like, this guy actually seems like a good guy, and his girlfriend's real mean. Like, we need to save this guy.
But what was
He
it?
died.
The reason he died was because I said okay instead of no, like 30 or 40 minutes before that. Like, once again, just a choice where you're just like, pretty much our choice was shut this bitch up, agree with her, and let's go. So because
Wasn't
I
it
did
also that like we spent extra time trying to save her?
yes. So I think when we sat down to play this game, we were like, all right, we got to save everybody, and we just got to keep moving and not stop. We got to keep running. Like, if there's a shortcut, we're going to take the shortcut. I think that's what we said.
Because
Which
there was
ended up
always the like
the long way or the shortcut.
there was always like the risky jump and the safe jump,
yeah,
and we'd always do like risky.
and
all.
we actually nailed them all. I think we didn't miss any quick time events. Which if you miss a quick time event,
We
like
didn't.
in like a major chase, so like the example Chris running back to the house, if I think you were playing at that point, if you would have missed a quick time event, he would have been killed by a Wendigo instead
Or
of
when I was
getting back to
Hayden
the house.
Panettiere's character in the basement when I was
Yeah.
running through with the towel.
Yeah. If you would have
Yeah.
been caught, it just would have ended sooner. But it's just really
Yeah.
cool that there's like I just remember this one issue of Game Informer where they were talking about Heavy Rain, and it was like bubbles. Like every choice you made went to different bubbles, and the page was littered with bubbles. So I just really liked it, and I feel like this game was pretty much like the way that Heavy
Way
Rain
better
and-
than that one.
way that Heavy Rain, Indigo Prophecy, and Beyond Two Souls were, but 100 times better, and it was a horror game. And
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I think we finished it. I think we saved like 4 or 5 people, and poor little Matt. His
think it was 4.
story was never told.
He died so early.
And his
And
even
it
at
was
the-
so gruesome too. He
even
got
at the-
he got a chain,
Yeah.
like a hook on a chain through the bottom of up through the bottom of his chin.
Yeah.
It was gross.
even at the end of the game, whenever they're interviewing all the kids, his bitchy girlfriend who was falling and he was trying to save her still
Oh,
was
Emily.
like,
We hated Emily.
yeah. I wanted you to. There's a point where like you're playing as Mike and you have a gun pointed at her head so bad. I was like, I want to be like, pull the trigger, just do it, do it. But no, we chose to save everybody. So yeah, Until Dawn was a blast. If you wanna, I feel like that would be an easy game to full score if you really wanted to. But yeah,
Yeah, I'd have to look
Play
at the
it.
trophies for that one.
yeah, play it. There's one about like saving only the females, saving only the males, saving everybody, nobody making it, like the very basic, and then like of course
Yep.
like finding all the collectibles. But this is definitely a game I would like to revisit at some point. Maybe we'll do it again this coming Halloween and see if we can save everybody. Because I mean,
Maybe.
it'll be a year later, pretty much. So
Yeah.
we'll remember.
I feel like we'll remember the main beats, but like the decisions are gonna be.
But even though we might,
Yep.
you think like we might save Matt now, well, there might be another section where we play as Matt that we've never seen before.
True.
So.
Very true.
Yeah, that is my number 4. Moving
Nice.
on to number 3. Tom,
You want to know what my number 3 is?
what's your number 3?
My number 3 is my favorite party game of the year, and it's Until Dawn.
I was about to say I don't know where
Yeah.
this is going.
Like, just like we talked about, like I think this game is so good. Again, another surprising game. Like,
Yeah.
if you told me that my number 3 game was going to be
Until Dawn, I would laugh at you.
was going to be Until Dawn, a horror game that is essentially like Heavy Rain and all those games that David Cage makes that are really, really bad. I would have said you were a crazy person. But this game is just so good. Like, the story is great. Like you were saying, it's campy. It's a B-movie kind of stuff.
We didn't even talk about the psychiatrist parts either.
Yeah, like the psychiatrist stuff. They had Peter Stormare as a psychiatrist, which that was awesome.
Did not know that was in there at all.
Yeah, and like just the way that they present the information to you of like the twists and the story and all that and how the characters develop, I thought was incredible. I thought the performances were great. Like Hayden Panettiere and the guy that plays Josh, who's the main guy in Mr. Robot, which is amazing, as I said last week. Like, I thought all the performances were great. It really added to the story and all that. And, yeah, it was just so strange. Like, it came out of nowhere. Everyone was talking about how good it was.
Because it was supposed to come out in 2014 for the PS3.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a move
like
game.
the PlayStation Move, which it still did utilize some of the move stuff, but it was just the 6-axis on the
I
controller.
love that stuff, though, where it was
it's
like,
just like,
all right, hold still.
You're sitting like...
And so it'd show you the little PS4 light bar thing, and you just have to like hold it and make sure you were staying in this really narrow thing. Like you would just hold it there. I thought that was great.
You also couldn't lay it on the table because there would be points where you couldn't move, and the Wendigos would scream at you and it'd rumble. And if you laid it on the table, it would go out of the compliance area.
Yeah, it was we'll move on because we talked about it enough. But I just love this game a lot, and it was definitely a real surprise for me of how much. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
And if you own a PS4 and you haven't played this,
it's probably cheap.
Yeah, probably like $30.
But it is so fun to play with somebody in the room. Like we had so much fun doing that, because they're like, no, left, right, no, I hate snakes, no, I hate knives, stuff like that. Like it was just so good. Definitely an amazing game.
Yes, definitely. So moving
what
on.
You got?
Number 3 is Rise of the Tomb Raider.
What?
So, I think Tom pretty much nailed everything on the head already about this. A couple things that he didn't mention, like I tried to do a lot of the melee, like whenever I was fighting with somebody, try and melee them enough to where I could assassinate them and not waste resources. Which at the end of the game, I was like, why did I save all these resources? Because I have like
you definitely didn't need to do that.
I have a billion of them.
Yep.
But no, whenever I would like dodge with the B button to get away, the camera would get kind of like wonky, and I would try and like, where'd they go? But the story, like you said, from start to finish, I think I was doing a lot of the exploring like you were, Tom. But then at one point, like I think on like Tuesday of this week, I was like, holy crap, I'm at like 18%. I need to finish this game by the end of the week so I can properly grade it if I want to have it in my top 5. Because I could already tell it was going to be a top 5 because of how much I loved the Tomb Raider from 2013. Was a blast to play.
Yeah.
And this game felt like you said, like it was everything from the 2013 one, but just better. Like the definition of a good sequel. Everything that made the original good and just made it better. Like you said, they took away a lot of the gruesome deaths. There was one where I was walking and I stepped on a platform and it started to rumble, and I think my controller like lost connection for like 2 seconds, and I went to jump.
All right, those are pretty gruesome.
Yeah, I went to jump, and I was like, "Oh crap! The controller's not working."
It's a pit of spikes.
And just you fall on the spikes, and it goes like right through the side of her head. You're just like, "Oh my god, that's just."
Yeah.
I have to look away for a second. Like it's that bad. Like it's weird to say that, but like you said, it's like a lot like the Uncharted, National Treasure, Indiana Jones. That's what it reminds me of, is all that stuff and how fun it is to be in that world. And then like the Deathless Ones, and then you have like the weird tribe people with Jacob and Sophia. There's just a lot to it, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of side quests. The challenge tombs are probably the highlight for me. The few that I did, because they're not. It's just puzzles. It's not so. The story tombs are good, but there's a lot of times where it's just action. You're just shooting and killing enemies, just going from point A to point B. The optional tombs are the stuff that I like a puzzle, like you're looking at, you're like, okay, I see how all the parts work, like the observatory room, if you remember, to get into the last area. Like, you're looking at it and you're like, holy crap, this is a lot of stuff. And as you progress, the things do different motions, do different things to where the puzzle changes as you go, and you're just like, holy crap, how do I do this? And I wish there was a way. I played on Seasoned Raider. I wish there was a way to where Lara wouldn't say stuff to give you a clue. Like,
oh my god!
Like, I gotta jump now,
Oh
and
my
it's
God.
like, shut up! I know what to do. Let me do trial and error. Because, like you said, the
Oh, you
checkpoints are
reminded
plentiful.
me.
The checkpoints are plentiful. It's not like I don't like to go into a tomb and say, okay, I gotta turn this on first, and it's like, let me figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
You reminded me of two things. One, the tombs are incredible. Like,
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest improvement, is now there are actually tombs to raid. But, yes, oh my god, when she keeps talking, like, for the most part, it's not bad.
yeah,
but there is a
it's
part
just like
towards
a
the
clue.
end
There's just like
where-
clues that she says.
You're in the, like, the like, sunken Acropolis or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a thing where you gotta blow up these supports around a statue so you can knock the statue over and run
Yeah.
up it. And you have to get these Greek fireball.
Yeah, it's not a hard puzzle
Things.
either. It takes a little
It's
bit of
not
time.
hard. It takes time because you gotta set up a bunch of stuff, and it was even worse for me because I was trying to get all the stuff in the rooms, and there were like 4 collectibles in there, and literally the whole time, like every 10 seconds, she's saying, "I gotta find another barrel. I gotta find
know.
another barrel.
I know.
I gotta
know.
find another barrel. I gotta find another barrel." It was like, Laura, shut up. So, literally, I blow up the one side. I do the other side stuff. I have the barrel in place. I should have shot it there because I was like, oh, I don't want a cutscene to trigger, and then it automatically takes me away, and I can't collect this stuff. Even though there was a fast travel spot right there, but it was like, okay, I want to get this stuff. And literally, the barrel was already there. I just needed to blow it up, and she kept saying, I need to get another barrel. I need another barrel.
Shut up!
It's
I
like-
know.
It was like in the first game, Lara was like this scared kid, and then she
Yeah.
became this badass at the end. And in this game, you start as a badass and stay a badass. But like, it's like, Lara, you're a badass. Shut up, please. Like, some of the stuff was fine. Like, you'd solve a puzzle and she'd be like, "Oh wow, that was tough," or something like that. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if I have to hear her talking about another barrel one more time,
Yeah,
Good
so
grief.
I finished this game last night, and I think you did as well.
this morning,
It's great. It's a lot of fun. I just don't know if the longevity is going to be there for me to go back to it. Like, I might go back and do a couple collectibles. Like, I know where a couple of challenge tombs are, but I found them early, and it's like, I need the rebreather, or I need the rope arrow. And that was at the point, like, where I was like, I got to finish this game. So I just didn't go back, and I was like, well, I think I know where it's at, but I don't know. So I'll go back later, and I just never went back. So
yeah, and I think, and it makes it easy for you to do that because you can collect stuff where it like shows secrets and things on the map, which is good. And like once you find it, it like gets grayed out, which I think is good.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm probably gonna go through and get 100% because I did on the last one. I really like this game a lot. But one more thing that kind of bugged me, and it doesn't matter at all to my enjoyment of the game. It's just one of those trends that's really weird. Why does this game have cards?
I don't
I mean,
know.
I know there's like a
Yeah.
multiplayer thing, but like literally it's like you do something in the story and it's like you just
Here's a
unlock
card.
the card pack. It's like,
Why?
who cares?
I don't
This
care.
is so stupid.
Yeah.
Get rid of these cards.
It's like it changes stuff and unlocks stuff and makes the
Yeah.
game harder, makes the
for the
game
like
easier.
multiplayer stuff. Like, who cares? Whatever. Whatever.
All right. Moving on to numero dos. Tommy boy.
All right. This one's gonna have major spoilers. Heroes of the Storm.
What? Me too. No way.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. That's my number 2.
Nice.
Heroes of the Storm.
Yes. So, going into this year, there was not a genre that I could care less about than MOBAs.
Yes, exactly.
And
yes.
and around late May, early June, Tim texted me and was like, "Hey, this Heroes of the Storm isn't bad." And obviously,
Yeah.
as a big
I
Blizzard
think
fan,
it was,
you were
I think
drawn
it
in a
was-
little more than I
yeah,
am.
it was like early June. I think the game came out like June 2nd or June something.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's free. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah, you were like, "Hey, this is pretty good." And I was just thinking, like, I don't care, because like I don't really care about Blizzard stuff all that much at the time.
Yeah.
And you're like, "No, really, you should try it. Here, we'll play together." And it was like,
Oh my
"Oh
god.
man, this is great." because I'd played a little bit of League, like 4 matches before, and I hated it
Yeah.
because I hated that it was a team game predicated on my individual skill and ability to like get last hits and kills and all that stuff, which makes it hard because all these people play these games nonstop, and I can't contribute to the team because I'm just worthless, essentially. So this game is like,
That sounds about like me whenever I try to play League
Yeah.
or Dota.
and it was kind of funny because this ended up evolving into me trying Dota for about 40 hours.
Yeah,
which,
you played it a lot actually. I remember hopping on Steam and I'm just like, oh, what's
Wait,
Tom?
yeah.
Tom's playing Rock. No, Tom's playing Dota too. What?
yeah, I played a decent amount of Dota, and I really like it. It's just hard, and like I feel like I'm worthless to my team, so I don't really play it much anymore. But I do like watching it, and the international was sweet. But
Yeah, so I'm the
Here's
same
the
way.
Storm
Like,
makes it so easy.
I'm
to
terrible
get
at real-time strategy, but I love watching StarCraft.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
exactly.
I don't know why.
It's fun to watch people that are good at these really high skill level ceiling games. But
Yeah.
this game, it's like, hey, we have one shared experience for the team.
Which is
You get to use
amazing.
these bright, colorful characters on these maps that aren't like way massive. The matches last like at max like 30 minutes.
Yep.
And I'd say on average like 18 to 20 minutes. Like I think I've had like 2 or 3 30-minute games ever.
Yeah,
and
I
those
had,
were
I had like a
shit.
20. I was playing with Chris today and one of Chris's friends, and we had like a 27-minute quick match. But it was fun.
Yeah.
We won, and I played as Raynor, which Raynor's a badass, but that's okay.
Yeah, and it's just a lot of fun. It's easy to see your character. You don't have to worry about last hits or items and stuff. I think it's just a really good introduction to MOBAs, and I love the Blizzard universe for it. It's such a great idea to combine all this stuff together. They have the best character design in video games, so kind of watching like Kerrigan mix it up with Stitches, mixing it up with ETC is kind of awesome.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's so much fun. I've sunk so many hours into it. Definitely my most played game of the year.
Yeah, mine too.
for
Definitely.
sure. And I can't wait to play more of it, even though I suck.
Yeah, so pretty much everything Tom said, but to add on to it, Blizzard gave it what I call the Blizzard touch. So whenever you look at old school MMOs, Ultima, EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot, those games weren't hard, but it wasn't easy. So like if you never played an MMO before and you downloaded EverQuest and you tried to play it, dear Lord, you would be lost. So Blizzard was like, hey, I really like this idea. And they had this real-time strategy called Warcraft that had like a huge following. They're like, let's take all these characters and do that. And they did that, and they made it better and easier and more accessible, which is exactly what I feel like Blizzard did with Heroes of the Storm. And I
Yep,
think
for sure.
Heroes of the Storm is also the game I spent the most money on this year. Whereas,
Yeah, that's 100% true.
but no, like I think we talked about this last week when we went over just all the games of 2015. For $5, you can have a free account. You can get 3 characters. You can get Mirrodin, which is possibly like top 3 warriors in the game. You can get Raynor, which is probably like top 3 to 4 ranged assassins in the game, top 1 in my heart. And then Malfurion, which is like a decent healer. I wouldn't say that he's top 2 or 3 for me, but he's a lot of fun. He has a lot of cool abilities and stuff like that.
Yep.
But for $5, that's all it takes, and then you can play this game all you want to your heart's content. But like Tom said, I feel like the curve of this game is like it starts off nice and gradual, but then it just takes like a really steep climb. So like I think we were doing Hero League a lot, and I think we were both around like 20. I think the highest, which is actually the lowest I ever got, was like 27, and I think you were like at 23 or 24 at one point.
Yeah, I was like 23, 24.
Yeah, but the curve to get from there and get lower, because rank 1 is the goal, but to get lower is really hard. But
Yeah, and I think part of it too is I suck. So I lose my mouse sometimes in fights when it gets real crazy
Crazy.
and stuff like that. And like I just don't think my mind works well enough for these types of games.
Yeah,
but
'cause, we were
the
playing
cool
with-
thing is that I can enjoy myself regardless.
So if we're playing Hero League and we play 2 or 3 games and we just don't win, it's like, hey, let's go play an AI match and actually feel good about ourselves.
I do that a lot, where I'm just like, oh man, I suck. I'm gonna beat up on my computer.
Yeah, but no,
I think I had a 7-minute and 50-second AI match.
I had that new map that just came out. I had like a 8 or 9 minute match just because we took all the points and they just were getting bombarded like every 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah,
but there's
speaking
also
of that,
updates.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Free
They have
updates.
supported this game so well, both with new characters, which cost money or gold, and with free maps and updates to the UI and all that stuff.
So Tom mentioned gold. So we'll say whenever Karazim came out, I think that was like one of the first new characters that was released. Was Karazim or like Leorc or something? Actually, it was Butcher. Butcher was the first character that ever released after we started playing. The character comes out and they're either $10, and you can usually get them for like $13 or $14 with their alternate costume, or they're gold. I think whenever they first come out they're 15,000. Then after they've been out for like 4 weeks, they're down to like 10,000. But you get gold by doing daily quests every day. So daily quests can be something as simple as win 2 games, play 3 games as a warrior, play 3 games as a specialist, play 2 games as a Warcraft character, and so on and so forth. But every single daily quest they come out with, you can do it with one of the free-to-play heroes in the free rotation. So if you're not sure if you're going to like playing a character like Sylvanas, if she's in the free rotation, you can try her out all week for free. If you do quick match and AI match, you're guaranteed to play as her. Whereas if you do Hero League, you're not always guaranteed to play as her. But if you're still trying out characters, chances are you're not playing Hero League quite yet.
You're not playing ranked Hero League.
Because also to play Hero League, you have to own 10 characters, I think.
Yeah, you do.
It's
that way you don't get locked out of.
Yeah, so I found
characters.
a lot of characters that I enjoyed playing as. So like for example, Rhaegar. I was like, okay, he's a shaman, that's cool, but he's a healer. I don't really want to play as him. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play as him. I was like, holy crap, this guy's actually a lot of fun. Same thing with like Uther and Johanna. I didn't know if I'd like them. Played as them. Had the option to put down cash or gold, and I got them one way or the other. And I think Tom owns every hero, or almost every hero, and I own everything short of Lost Vikings, Murky, and Shin. Those are the ones I don't have yet.
I own all of them.
And those are 3 characters that I don't really care to play at all, so I don't own them.
Yeah, I haven't played Lost Vikings or Abathur or anything like that. But I just own them to have them. It's my Pokemon mentality.
Gotta catch them all. Or gotta own them all.
I've spent too much money on this game.
Yeah.
And also probably too much time. But I love it so much.
It's a blast.
And they've made updates to the UI that make it better, where you can now see people's ranks and how long it's taking them to load the map, so you can yell at whoever's being slow, stuff like that. Blizzard has supported this game a lot. I'm sure that they're, because of people like me and Tim,
who are dumping
me, that we're dumb and we buy everything.
If I had to guess, it's probably been over $130,
I'm not thinking
$140.
Stop.
Just thinking about it.
Just be quiet. Don't make me think about this stuff. I buy stupid stuff all the time, Tim. I don't need.
I'll make you sad real quick. Hang on. Keep talking.
Well, some of them is gold, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I own damn near every skin too. Not all of them, but especially because it was all 50% off on Christmas and all that. Damn it, Blizzard. But this game is just too good. It's definitely the best introduction to MOBAs. It's definitely the quickest, easiest MOBA to pick up and play. I love this game so much. And it actually makes me enjoy Blizzard stuff.
I don't want to get too in-depth in this, but I play World of Warcraft. I play it a lot, and I've played it a lot, I guess. But I'm looking at my character transfers right now.
Oh, good. You're not gonna make me sad. Good.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna give a rough estimate. I'm gonna guess there are about 30 here, maybe 40.
Oh shit! And those are what, $25 a piece?
Yeah.
Nice.
So back in the day.
Real quick, I'll be back in literally a second. I'm gonna get something for the #1 game, and also because it's real stupid.
So
I think you know what it is.
Back in the day, I used to raid very, very much, but it was pretty much whenever you raid, you have to have all your characters together. So it was, every time I joined a guild, which was not that often, I would switch guilds. But whenever a guild would fall apart or not progress or become douchebags, you would leave, and then, you would transfer. But you wouldn't transfer one character. You would transfer your character to raid with them to make sure it worked out. And if it did, then you transferred to your other 4, 5, or 6 characters. It was painstakingly crazy. But yeah, so Heroes of the Storm, I can't tell you how much money I've sunk into it, but it's worth every penny that I've sunk into it, just because of the hundreds of hours that I've had fun playing it. And then I just think about 2016. They got new characters coming out all the time.
More characters. They still haven't released Greymane, which they announced at BlizzCon.
He's coming soon.
They still have the arena mode and all that.
And then we're still in the preseason, aren't we, for Hero League?
Yeah,
so we're not even.
They need
in
to do
season
something
1.
with that.
Yeah,
because I want to restart. I want to restart Hero League.
So, anyways, moving on. Number 1, Tom, shoot me with it, or whatever it is you're going to do with it.
The champs are here. Tim, we didn't even talk about my number 1 game last week. We didn't even mention it. How did we not mention it? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
I think it's Rocket League.
It's Rocket League. Rocket League is the best video game
ever
of 2015.
It's fun. I'll give you that. It's a blast.
It is so good. I have put on the PC 86 hours into Rocket League, which is fun, which is good, and probably another 10 on Rocket League on PS4.
Jesus.
And yeah, well, it came out for free on PS4, which clearly was a real smart move for them because it got a lot of people to try it out.
So was it like the free game? Okay, so yeah, they do that a lot on Xbox. Like a game will come out, and if we'll say like Volgor the Viking and like Van Helsing, they came out the day they came out, they were free.
Yeah, and so this game was made for $2 million and it's made $50 million already, which is probably due to that stuff. But it's just so simple, it's so fun, and it's like you can have a ton of fun being the worst player in the world at it, or you can have a ton of fun.
That's me. Being the worst player in the world. That's me.
Hey Tim, no, you're not. I introduced it to my brother-in-law last week, and it was honestly hard to believe what I was seeing. But happy birthday to him, by the way. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday.
He's real quick. Me and my sister love watching Downton Abbey because it's like an amazing show.
I thought it was called Downtown Abbey.
It's called Downton. It's not downtown.
Oh.
Because it's called Downton. Because that's the name of it. There's no second W.
Okay.
But we always like watching it. The series started last week, the last season of it, and so they're coming over again today. And like last week when they came over, my brother-in-law hates that show. He doesn't understand it, why we like it or anything like that. So I was like, hey, he's like, hey, let's play FIFA. I was like, no, let's play the best soccer game. Let's play Rocket League.
Oh my God, yes.
And so I showed him Rocket League. He was like, oh, I want to play. So he played that for like 2 hours while we were like eating dinner and watching Downton Abbey. And then he the next day texted me. He's like, I'm gonna have to get that game. And he owns one game on Steam. He owns Age of Empires 2 HD on Steam. He doesn't really play video games much, but
can his computer even run Rocket League?
Yeah, Rocket League's pretty. They've got a new computer, like a new laptop.
Oh, okay.
Rocket League's not horrible on the lowest settings, but on the best settings, it looks incredible. I've got it in 4K on my 4K monitor, and like the grass looks so nice. But anyway,
you have it in 4K.
Yeah, bro, got a 4K monitor now.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
It's on sale on Black Friday. But yeah, it's so simple. It can be so simple as I'm going to drive my car around like it's an actual car and hit the ball like it's a soccer ball, and we'll go, and do that and be real low level. Or you can also do jumps in your car, which can turn into flips and barrel rolls and stuff.
Who was that we were
and
playing
you can
with?
do boosts in your car, which turns your car into an airplane because you can fly around as long as you have boost.
So my experience playing this game is only with you. I think I bought it because I think what was it, like $5 or like $10, maybe 15.
It's $20, but I think it's been on sale for like anywhere from like $6 to $15.
So I bought it because you were just like, I remember watching people play it on Steam, and I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool, and you were just like, oh my god, this game is amazing, and I was like, all right, I'll pick it up, and I picked it up and play it with a controller. That's my one suggestion. If you're playing on PC.
Well,
if you play on PC, my one suggestion is play with the controller. And I was smart about what I was doing, but there was a guy we were playing with. I can't remember I think it was the intern, who the whole game all he tried to do was hit the ball while in the air and using boost.
Oh,
that was
that's 100% what we do.
Yeah, and
that's me and Andy. That was Andy.
That's his name. Yeah.
So I think I've played this game for like 2 hours without, like, by myself. It's not like, it's fun by yourself, and you can do like 1v1s if that's your thing, all the way up to 4v4s, and there are crazy modifiers like, oh, there's no gravity, or there's limited gravity now, or oh, we always have 100% boost, or oh, the ball is now a cube, or oh, it's like hockey now with ice on the ground and a hockey puck, which is awesome. But I always play twos and threes, mostly twos. Twos are incredible. I think it's the best.
I've had a lot of fun in twos with you. I think
it's the best balance between like chaos but also some strategy, because like threes and fours can get insane because they're just cars everywhere and it gets real frustrating. But speaking of keyboard, Andy's cousin is like top tier in that game. Like, he's like gold 3, which is 100 platinum, which is like your top like 5% or like not even like 1% of players, and he plays with the freaking keyboard and mouse. It's insane. I don't understand it. We're playing with him and he was hitting every aerial ever. I don't get it.
That's the same with Super Meat Boy. Like, some of the top people in the world play Super Meat Boy with a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because it's very precise and you can be precise with the keys. But yeah, definitely controller is the best way to go for that. But it's my number one multiplayer game, number one game period. It's so much fun. They keep updating it with new DLCs and stuff that are all like $3-4. They add new modes, and well, the modes are free, but like new cars and new car accessories and stuff, which I love that stuff, making my car look as dumb as possible, like giving it a train conductor's hat with a train that goes around the top of it, a mariachi hat, a boost that's a rainbow, a boost that's like a lawnmower,
a boost
that shoots money. Yeah, like you can make your car look really stupid, but it's just so simple. They're 5-minute games, kind of like Splatoon. Like, it's just quick games.
Well, it's 5 minutes, but every time somebody scores and other things,
it can take up to like 10 minutes potentially if you're killing them. But it's just so much fun, and it's quick games. Like, I love it, love it, love it, love it to death. Definitely my top game of the year, my most played game of the year, probably.
So
I think so.
I played Rocket League a little bit, and I enjoyed it, but I tried playing it by myself, and I always got paired up with that one guy that I think was playing with like his elbows. Best way to describe it. Just guys like playing a controller like with his elbows, trying to figure out how to move it around. So
yeah, and like part of it too is like when you were saying like Andy was just flying around doing dumb stuff with aerials. Like, that's how you got to learn to do it, because like the skill levels are like,
saying he was bad at playing it, but
I can't jump at all, which is where my brother-in-law is. Then you're in the area where you're like, I'm jumping, but I don't do aerials. Then aerials are like up here, and then always hitting your aerials is like way above.
Like off the screen up here.
It's off the screen. That's how hard it is. Me and Andy are like up here. We're hitting aerials. We're doing pretty good, but they're not the best.
And I'm like right here. Like, I know how to jump. I know how to hit the ball. I know how to score goals. That's what I know how to do.
Yes. This is my number one game for sure. Best multiplayer game I've played in years.
Yep. And it's fun to talk trash on there too, because people just. I think I remember watching you 1 versus 2 somebody and actually win. I was like, wow. And then the guy
I was playing on the PS4 where I hadn't played.
So your rank's really low.
Anything, so my rank was really low. So I was playing with kids that couldn't really do anything. And they kept telling me I suck. I think I beat them like 7-2.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I think I came over here like, oh, I just got in a game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch. I like watching Rocket League. It's fun. And then like your teammate dropped out, and like they scored a goal and your teammate dropped out. Like it was one of those where they hit. I think they scored a goal like off of the launch. Like you can't avoid it. You can't avoid it
Yeah.
in a 2v2. Like a 3v3, you can have one person stay back, but he scored off the launch, and your teammate's like, nope, I'm out. They're good. And it's like,
Yep.
wow, you just crushed them 7-2, 1v2. It was great.
Yep. All right, Tim. Enough about
Ah.
Rocket League, the greatest video game of the year. I think I know what your choice is for your number one game of 2015.
All right, I got it actually right here on my T-shirt. You can't see it. but
Oh,
it's
you
here.
suck. What a corporate shill.
Well, actually, this T-shirt is in benefit of veterans whenever they come home finding them jobs. So this is the most expensive T-shirt I have bought all year, but it's also the most beneficial T-shirt. And if you can't tell what that is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which is really weird. I feel dirty saying that.
It is super weird.
I feel
Because
dirty
we
saying
played
that.
last year's Call of Duty, and
And
you
I
were
hated
so
it.
mad.
I hated
I've
it.
never heard you get so mad at anything ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
so, but I don't know, but I feel like Treyarch does the best job with the Call of Duty series. So
They do.
Black Ops 1 was the last time
The best.
I actually really played Call of Duty was Black Ops 1.
Yeah.
Then I think what was after that was Modern Warfare 3, which
Yeah,
was
and
like
that game sucked.
which was like Modern Warfare 2 but like terribly bad. And
Yep.
then after that, was it Black Ops 2? Cuz I think at
Yep.
that point they had lost my interest. And then
Black
it was
Ops 2 was really good.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. And I played the multiplayer on PC during like a free Steam weekend. It was fun, but
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting wrecked, but it was also one of those like I don't know the maps, I don't have the weapons unlocked. So I get it.
Yeah.
Like I started off like, here's like a normal person where I would normally be at, but I was like way down at the bottom because not knowing the maps to me is the biggest thing. I can get over the
Yeah.
weapons. I can get over the weapon issues. That's fine. But then after that was Ghost. I think I bought Ghost and finished the campaign because I think that was the first one that came out on Xbox One. I bought it and I finished the campaign. Didn't really play much of the multiplayer because it was really laggy for some reason. And then there was
Yeah.
Advanced Warfare, which the campaign on Advanced Warfare was beautiful and it was fun. Then there was the multiplayer that I did not
Yeah.
enjoy at all.
Yeah, this Call of Duty Ghosts, I think, is easily the worst Call of Duty they've ever had.
Yeah.
And I really liked Advanced Warfare, and I definitely didn't hate it as much as you did. But it definitely didn't grab me the way that this game has grabbed me.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is about this game. I did not even have any intentions on playing it, buying it, or anything. And they had a beta. What was it? Was that back in August? Or was that
That sounds
September?
about right.
About August or so. And I
Yeah.
remember playing the beta, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good.
Right.
Like,
Crap.
this is- I'm actually having a lot of fun right now playing this. And I was
Yeah.
like, Tom, are you downloading the beta? And I think you said you played it on PS4 or something like that. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
the PS4 had it first. So.
Yeah, so I remember
it
playing
there.
the beta, and I was like, wow, this is actually really fun. Whereas I played other betas like Evolve, and I was like, wow, this is actually really terrible. Thanks for not making me waste my money. And
Yeah,
then
right.
then I played this one, I'm like, thanks for making me waste my money on this game. But
Yep.
yeah, so the campaign, I think I played like 2 missions. Haven't really played that much.
Yeah, I haven't played a single second of the campaign in this game.
Zombies, I think I've played 2 games on
Haven't played a
Zombies. Zombies is good. If Zombies is your thing, apparently you're going to love this because I have a couple friends that they love Zombies, and they play it all the time. And then multiplayer, which has pretty much been like my forte. I just have a lot of fun. I think the sliding is great. The boost is good because there's limited boost. I think the perks are well-rounded, minus maybe hardwired. I feel like hardwired's a little bit OP, even though I use it. I think it's a little bit powerful because you're immune to counter UAV. You don't trip trip mines, and you also don't set off C4 alarms. So it's like this one perk does like 3 or 4 things, and I'm like, I feel like that's a little bit overpowered. But there's only 6 perks per slot, so yeah. But
You got your gun in me. That's weird, Bruce Wayne.
oh, hey, look, Batman. I talked about him earlier today, didn't I? Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like the maps minus maybe 1 or 2 are very well rounded. I feel like the weapons are pretty well rounded. So I complain a lot about the SMGs, but the reason I complain about the SMGs
You complain about every gun in this game.
because
Every gun is
I'm-
overpowered.
I'm using an assault rifle in SMG range, so I'm gonna lose. I mean, there's the chance I'm gonna win, but also the same time, like if you're at range and there's a Vesper shooting at you and you have an ICR, you're gonna just destroy them in like 4 hits, which is the way it should be. I don't really feel like there's a lot of quick scoping in this game either, which is my biggest pet peeve about the Call of Duty series, at least the Modern Warfare series, is that people just spend hours trying to quick scope, and I feel like it makes your team bad because you get that guy that wants to.
It's definitely the least amount of quick scoping.
Yeah,
Like,
and then
it's still there. You still can do it,
but it's
not
harder.
as hard. It's not as random as it was in Black Ops 1, but it's also not as easy as like the Modern Warfare games. I think they strike
Yeah.
a really good balance with these.
Yeah, and I feel
with
like there's pretty much like a gun for everybody. So Tom eventually unlocked a gun that all he did was play with that gun for like hours, and he was having so much fun. And then he told me to
Yeah.
use it, and I was like, I think I'm like a Prestige 3, like rank 40, and I was like, all right, Tom, I'll finally use this gun. And I was like, oh my god, this gun's so much fun. the
Yes.
Argus shotgun.
The Argus shotgun. Like, I had some fun with the shotguns in Black Ops 1, but the Argus is just so damn good in this game.
Yeah.
Like, it's got good range on it. You can get beat by, an assault rifle at range or in an SMG up close if you're not good with your shot, but like
That one hit kill, it can happen.
it's
a lot.
so strong. I love it so much.
The spread's
like,
not big on it. It's really tight and
No.
small.
It's so good, and it's definitely the most fun I've had in that game is just running around with that stupid gun and just being a moron and just trying to get kills. Like, immediately when the game starts, I'll take a really bizarre route to the other side of the map and just try and kill as many people in the back as possible.
So yeah,
Which
I usually
is so much
I'm the assault. I like assault rifles. I've actually went through and unlocked diamond camo on the assault rifles, which was very painful to say the least.
Yeah.
Tom was
I did not
suffering.
enjoy parts of that.
Tom was suffering through me. So there was some like I learned that the Man of War is my favorite gun by doing this challenge. Then I learned that the M8A7 with no attachments is the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity.
Yeah. And
think-
I don't really understand that one. I feel like those are pretty much the same as the
Yeah.
other ones, but
The iron
there are
sights
just
were
times that you struggle
terrible. Yeah,
on the iron sights.
Yeah, and then there's other guns that I like thought would be a lot of fun, and like the Shiva, and
God, that gun's so good.
it's
I
it's
love that
good.
gun.
I think what was it I had trouble with on that one was I think it might have been the double kills, but then there's other guns that I thought I wouldn't even enjoy, like the HVK-30, and I don't even remember playing with the HVK-30, which I guess is kind of a good thing because I looked at my KD, it was like a 1.2 spread, which is pretty okay for me, and I didn't have any issues with it, obviously. Which
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's good. I got my 100 headshots, and I finished my challenges, and I got diamond camo for it, and I'm never going to use that gun again. So,
Yeah, I love like you said, the maps are all good. There's no single map where I'm just like, I don't want to play this.
mine's Metro,
like,
but
even in
that's
freaking Black Ops
that's
1,
it.
the
But the Argus on
Array.
Metro's
so
that's where
good.
it's at. That's where it's at.
And I love Metro. You hate it, but I love it because I'm shotguns and SMGs, and that's all that map caters to.
Yeah, and assault
like
rifles
even in
does
Black
not
Ops
cater at
1,
all.
like Array sucks as a map because
Yeah.
it's just so wide open. I think all the maps in this game are great.
Yep.
I love the guns. You think they're overpowered, but if they're all overpowered, Tim, none of them are overpowered.
No, I just like to joke around. I get mad when
There
I
are
die.
clearly some
but-
that are underpowered though, that are like really bad.
Yeah,
but-
I would say the most.
Some of those shotguns are real bad.
So what I hate is
Much as
whenever
I love shotguns.
I run around a corner and there's that guy sitting there with like a haymaker that's just like do 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 just shooting that shotgun, and I'm just like, wow, dude, you're bad. You killed me,
Yeah.
but it took you like 8 shots from a shotgun.
Yeah,
And
but I love the movement in this game. It's so good.
Yes,
it
the
takes
movement
the
is
best
solid.
of Titanfall and Advanced Warfare,
and puts it
and
together.
it's the best because those games, Advanced Warfare iterated on Titanfall, and then this game is like the ultimate version of that. Everything feels so good. It's very balanced in terms of like how quickly your stuff runs out, and yeah, I love it. I love it. Love it.
Yeah,
love
and
it.
I feel like all the perks are there's always something. Like whenever you start the game off, or whenever you start off, I always say Afterburner, Hardwired, and whatever the one is that keeps your your jetpack silenced. That's
Yep.
that's a pretty solid setup to start off with, and then the starting guns are actually really good. The Kuda is
I've been
amazing.
using the Kuda a lot.
The Kuda's really good. The KN-44 is really, really good. And then after that, I think like the KRM is okay for shotguns. But I look at those two mainly, SMGs and assault rifles, because those can pretty much cater to anybody.
Oh,
And
yeah.
those two guns for starting off are amazing. Yeah, the Kuda doesn't shoot super fast, but it has a decent range on it. Like you can kill somebody that's like 30 yards away, whereas like the Vesper, you can kill them 30 yards away, but you're probably gonna go through your whole entire magazine trying to do it. But then again, like the Vesper shoots ridiculously fast. But yeah, other than that, the only other thing to talk about would be the Specialist. And the Specialists are pretty cool. There's a lot of different things you can do. So you got people like the Prophet that can glitch and teleport, so many yards back to where he was at like 5 seconds ago. You got the Titan from Destiny, which is can't remember his name now, but he has
Conor
gravity
McGregor.
spikes. He has gravity spikes, and he can hit the ground and do like a big AoE, kill people. Then you got like the Golden Gun from Destiny, which is Seraph, which is my favorite. Annihilator can one-shot kill people. And then
Battery is my favorite.
Yes, and I was gonna say War Machine's probably my personal favorite to use, just because it's fun whenever you can just start shooting off grenades and just killing people without even trying. It seems like, but it's still fun because you hit a wall and then 3 grenades bounce off and they explode.
And if you hit somebody directly, they blow up and make really good like
it's a
fleshy.
It's a great final kill cam.
Sounds.
It's a great final kill cam to hit somebody direct with the War Machine.
I think other than the fire guy,
Purifier.
flamethrower guy, I think they're all super balanced.
Yeah.
Like yes, if you run into the guy who's like the Titan in Destiny, like you will die, but he's not going to get multiple kills on you.
Yeah, he's going to get maybe two. Maybe,
Yeah.
I think the most I've gotten.
Unless you're all clumped together, and if you're all clumped together, then you're stupid.
Yeah, I've gotten a quad kill because I literally jumped in a room and there was like 4 guys looking out a window, and I was like, bam, hit the triggers, killed 4 people. I was like,
right.
And then I just kept running. I just kept moving.
And that's because they're stupid. Like
Yes.
you could have gotten those 4 kills with a gun, if if you would want to use that. But like the battery, like the War Machine, like I use that a lot, and you can get off a lot of shots with it.
I think
but
it's
it fires
8
pretty
shots.
slowly. It fires pretty slowly, and like you have to pretty much hit them dead on to get a kill, or if you have to hit them multiple times.
Yep.
Like the Golden Gun girl, like same
6
thing.
shots.
Like she can get it, but it's also
slow.
a super slow shot.
Super slow, but it's fun.
Super slow between shots. But
it's got range.
Archery, Sparrow, Lady, same thing. And you pretty much have to hit them dead on with that thing.
Or right
but
at their
it's
feet.
satisfying when you do. And like the dude with the machine gun arm, I feel like he was
Spectre.
overpowered at first, but I think they tweaked that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's definitely not killing people as fast, and it's much easier to kill him now. I think that they nerfed the range on that, which is good.
Yeah, but the only one that I think is overpowered, I agree with you, is Purifier, the flamethrower, because literally you can tap the right trigger and hit somebody with fire and they die. And
Yeah,
he
it's
has,
not.
And he has 100 rounds he can go through in a span
And it
of
takes
like
forever to shoot them all off. And
Yeah.
I think it'd be good if they made it where you'd have to get caught on fire after a second or two, as opposed to like
Immediately.
literally if it singed one hair on your arm, your entire body would be
Catches on
engulfed in
fire.
flames with this guy. So, but even then, like I enjoy it. It's not on my top 5. If I had a top 10, this would definitely be on my top 10. I enjoy this game so much, like you're saying. I haven't played it nearly as much as you have, but
well, so I'm
and
prestige.
I've only played with you.
I'm prestige 3, like rank like 48, but I will say the 2 double XP weekends they have had, I spent a lot of time playing.
And
that's why.
And I've had so much fun. And like normally I played Domination and like Search and Destroy. I think I've played like 98% of my games are team deathmatch, which
Yep.
never happens for me.
Nope.
Like normally I find deathmatch just really boring. I love this game. Also, the water traversal and killing people from the water. Like you have never heard a man giggle with such glee as I have and scream, "I'm the predator," when I kill people in the water.
Yeah, so my favorite water kill ever was playing as the Gravity Spikes guy, and I saw 2 guys in the water, and I was running on the wall, and I just jumped off the wall and hit my spikes. I was like, let's see if this works. And literally,
Yep.
I hit the water, and I see my screen like slow down as I hit the ground, and I seen the two bodies just go flying. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was great. But
God, this game's so much fun.
yeah, but once again, you guys, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been the top 5 of 2015. Next week, we're going to look forward to 2016. Look
Yes.
at all the confirmed games from Resident Evil 0 to Call of Duty Ghost 2, probably. And just talk about the games we're excited for and what we expect out of them. And, yeah.
And I
think
have
that'll-
so many games from this year that I want to go back to and play.
Yeah,
that-
so games I didn't get to cover that I would have liked to have was like Witcher 3. What else came out this year?
Here, I got
Fallout.
it. Game of Thrones, Tales from the Borderlands, Life is Strange, Witcher 3, Metal Gear 5, Undertale, Mario Maker, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Ori and the Blind Forest, and many more.
I'm surprised
for
you
me.
didn't mention Fallout, but I guess that's for
Yeah,
another
well,
day.
so Fallout, that's actually on my list of games to play more. I haven't finished the main storyline in it, so I don't really consider it eligible for my game of the year, because I want to put games that I have finished or, you can't finish on there. But that game is great. I don't think it's as good as Fallout 3, but Fallout 3 is like my number 2 game ever, so
Yes.
kind of hard to top that.
So once again,
But
you guys-
Fallout 4 is great.
Thank you guys very much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. Have a good week.
Yeah. Let's do it.